now there's so much to know. Earning bits, travel dreams we sow, all aboard the great Indian Points and Miles show. Zero to hero in the blink of an eye. Fly first class, no need to be shy. Redemption sweet, touching the sky. Award seats booked, let's give it a try. Award seats booked, let the points flow. It's all aboard the great Indian Points and Miles show. Unlocking journeys wherever you go. The sky's the limit, feel the travel mojo.
Hello everyone and welcome to a fun live stream by the Great Indian Points and Miles show, where the points meet purpose and miles turn into fun memories. I'm Adil and I'm so glad you're tuned in today. I already see that the count of live viewers is beyond 300. Crazy. All of you on a random Wednesday evening, जहाँ पे 10 बज चुके हैं, have just about started. We didn't put out the notification because Ameya got in late today. I was out at a conference. Dhimant is going to a conference tomorrow, and we just got home. हमने कहा कि चलो आज करते हैं live stream. और आधे घंटे पहले we just kind of thought let's schedule it and have fun. So big thanks all of you for tuning in. Dhanush, Nitin, Abdul, Angad. There's someone with the name of motivation and positive mindset also. Awesome. Big thanks. And look what he's saying. His comment is also fun. He's saying today is a historical day in the credit card industry. I think I subscribe and agree to that motivation and positive mindset. Abhishek, Bharat, Dharna, Naman, Malak, Alistair. Big thanks all of you for tuning in. Whether you guys are hardcore credit card churners, casual travelers, or someone just trying to figure out how to make that family vacation a little lighter on your wallet, you're in the right place today. Quick housekeeping. Drop your comments or questions in the comments anytime, irrespective whether or you're tuning in from YouTube or Twitter. If you're on YouTube, drop in a comment. We'll be able to see it, and I'll be able to flash the screen just like this. For example, Lakhandipati says that he got his HSBC TravelOne last week. What luck, man. Look at this. You're in for a treat. So stay excited for this episode. We'll be able to feature your comments just like that and answer all your questions, hopefully, today. Tell us, meanwhile, what's your go-to credit card for travel spends today? And after today's announcement, is it going to change? And if it's going to change, what is it going to change to? And why? Dalo, comments dalo, whether Twitter pe ho, reply karo, ya go ahead and comment on YouTube. We'll feature it on screen and we'll get this party started. But like you can see, I always blessed with my two co-pilots. First up, Ameya, the man who can map your spends like nobody's business. He's the spreadsheet whisperer who can turn a confusing credit card statement into travel strategy gold. And with Ameya, we've got Mr. Dhimant, Adarniya Dhimanji, like I like to call him, our resident real-world hacker. He keeps us grounded with how all this actually plays out when you try booking those flights and hotels in real life. Ameya, Dhimant, swagat hai. Kaise ho?
All good.
Do you know one of us closed our HSBC Premier a week or so ago?
कौन है ये बंदा जिसने क्लोज किया?
मैं ही हूँ वो बंदा.
No reaction, Dhiman.
Ameya was teasing me on the other group, and I told him that my card doesn't close till August 31st. So I'm for a bonus. I can decide if I want to keep it. I still am going to think over it. Maybe at the end of the live stream, some comments will also help me make that choice. But one thing I wanted to kind of realize today is that our community also feels like co-founders, of this show, because the moment the news came Abdul Qadir was like on this on Twitter was like कि यार चलो चलो जल्दी live stream करते हैं. मतलब ऐसे मुझे feeling आई कि वो like he's part of our team, right? And that's what we were exactly doing. So Abdul, here you are. All wishes granted. मुझे नहीं पता कि ICICI में iShop में एक और आया कि नहीं आएगा, लेकिन live stream तो हो गया.
Dude, look
That's
at
what I
Abdul's comment. His comment is kick-ass. He's saying, Dhimant, EPM भी बंद कर दो, ICICI Travel Partners release कर देगा.
No, but interestingly, Pranav just put a comment. Can you bring that comment up? Pranav put a comment saying he remembers very clearly that I did call out in an HSBC video that the portal is coming, and there were actually rumors from quite a bit that the portal is in works. And if you remember, HSBC Premier when they did the launch event, when they revalued the Premier for the first time, the India head actually said that we are going to release and make this card super powerful, but it's going to take time. So I hope that vouchers are also going to come soon. I mean, that's at least my prediction.
Cool, cool. So with that, let's get this live stream started. Now, the news is, guys, we're doing this live stream because HSBC just dropped their own travel portal. Think ICICI iShop, think HDFC SmartBuy, but HSBC has done this with some seriously incredible multipliers on flights and hotels. The big questions that we'd like to begin today and answer before we start answering your individual questions is one, is HSBC Premier the new Infinia, which is it the king of all cards? Second, where does TravelOne stand versus Axis Atlas? Think about those two. There's a very, very fascinating and riveting discussion that we can have. Three, which card suits what kind of traveler? Should you get it? Should you not get it? Who are you and what are your spends? Finally, what's still missing from HSBC to challenge HSBC or ICICI, which are the giants in this space? There's another giant, which is Axis, but we won't talk about that today. And with that, let's dive into segment one. Segment one is HSBC Premier the new king? Dhimant, Premier apparently is giving 36% back on hotels, 18% through flights on the travel portal. There is speculation that Tribe is even higher. Compare that with Infinia / Diners SmartBuy at 33%. So the numbers really, really look king size. But does Premier really dethrone Infinia? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it very simple, right? I think there are going to be two different kind of personas. Let's talk about the two personas quickly. The first persona who has an Infinia, who has an Magnus Burgundy, who has, let's say, an ICICI EPM. Right now, I'm going to stick to the Magnus for Burgundy because we crowned that card the king in our last episode, right? Unanimous king, right? While Infinia has got that title because of their older, history, M4B is the current king, and I don't personally think right now that it can dethrone the king. Right? That's my straight verdict, right? Especially for somebody who has M4B. However, all said and done, we know how difficult it is to get the Infinia and the M4B, right? So for somebody who is struggling to get these cards, and I personally feel that it's a clear criteria कि अगर आप 3 लाख की salary डालोगे, you will get the HSBC Premier. So it's very easy to get. Maintain your salary account. It's a very transparent card to get, and it's a no-brainer card, right? So in my head, I think for the persona who doesn't have those cards today, I feel it's a very strong move that they've made. And I'll tell you a strong reason why I'm saying the first persona is not going to probably see the change, because like I was telling Amaya also on the other group, right? You have 10 bookings to make. You have 5 cards to make the booking, right? How many cards are you going to use for the same category, right? So if you are somebody who's happy with M4B and Travel Edge, right? I mean, you're not going to probably use this that often. But yeah, I mean, we all know that how good it feels to have the new metal in your pocket, right? So that's at least my verdict. Very early verdict.
All right. Follow-up question for Amya. Amya is just looking at that comment and smiling. He can't just help but smile. Like the inner child in him was like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do this more. He already had a shot, but just look at him smile. Amya, any special comments on this?
खट्टे खट्टे अंगूर.
मैंने अमरा को ये पूछा कि एक साल के बाद I'm going to look at his HSBC Premier statement and see how many multipliers he has actually used it for. So I've been holding this card for a year now, At least that's my experience. So let's see.
No,
कितने
we
खट्टे
didn't have
अंगूर है और कितने
no.
huh? Huh?
We never had multipliers until now.
No, that's not the point now. But you have paid 12 lakh of taxes already, got what you wanted to get out of the card. No. See, that is
Huh.
what I'm trying to say. If you have a card and it serves a specific purpose, the card is in my head today. Even if they allowed, let's say, 10 lakh of taxes to be paid, I would have happily kept the card. Because that no other card is able to give me today. Minus Biz Black now. So Biz Black, another story, another podcast maybe.
No, but I
Cool,
think
cool.
on this point, well, I will disagree with you. I'll in fact go quite the opposite way. Let me put it this way. If today I have to make a choice that I need to pick up a super premium card, let's assume that the Magnus Burgundy is not in question right now. If I have to pick between Infinia and if I have to pick between HSBC Premier, well, I'm
HSBC
using
Premier.
right now, but TravelOne also, by the way, is like very, very close to HSBC Premier, arguably better in a few respects. But let's talk about that in due time. But I will pick HSBC Premier, and I'll tell you why. It is some of the soft benefits that are coming in on the travel portal that is, I think, the biggest game changer for me. So let's look at it this way, right? What does Infinia have going for it? To me, I think it is only one thing, which is you are able to buy vouchers. What does HSBC have going for it? See, all of your flight and hotel rates are similar, right? I'd argue the transfer partners are much better for HSBC when you compare it to Infinia. Easy, any day. You've got a bigger variety. You've got better transfer ratios also. You also have these beautiful features which include the price matching, which also includes free cancellations. Free cancellations is absolute game changer. If I think that I might need to fly out, sometime in the week, but I have not decided yet, I will book it on HSBC Premier. Easy. If the price changes, I benefit. If I decide that I need to cancel that ticket, man, it's beautiful. I think it's going to be a game changer. If not for vouchers, I think this card is the way to go. And I actually foresee myself, using it for a lot of these. It's going to be between your Magnus Burgundy Travel Edge and HSBC Premier. But if I were to make these uncertain bookings, there is only one way to go from here.
I'll tell you why I disagree with that wholeheartedly, right? Only one simple reason, and that's been my philosophy from day one. The card that lets you convert your daily expenses to rewards is the card that wins. And between Infinia and HSBC Premier, I put my hand to my heart and say without Swiggy vouchers ka 30K per month, I have no use of a super premium card. My if I have to make 4 spends to get that multipliers, it is very little use. However, if somebody's daily spends is booking flights, and I'm going to leave out that community which is probably booking travel agent booking because that's not legal. We all know that. If we talk about normal people, if there is somebody who books 10 flights a month on travel portals, this I would choose SSPC Premier over Infinia today, right? But if I bet you not, if somebody has to make a choice between Infinia and HSBC Premier today, I would still take the Infinia because पहले तो वो issue ही नहीं होता, and second, it helps you convert your everyday spends to points, which matters a lot to me over ratios. I mean, that's my point of view.
Yeah, the voucher sweet spot is there, 100%.
Yeah, see, tomorrow if the vouchers come in, I think the game will completely change. That's exactly what I like. It's finished then. Then I think ICICI EPM also is going to get revalued for sure.
Cool. I think lots of fun comments coming in, guys. Keep this good stuff going. It is so much fun to see all these comments. Lakhandapati actually said, when Suman said, I told on the other group, yeah, other group kya hai? So the other group that he's referring to, Lakhandipati, is
Lankadipati.
Lankadipati. Sorry about that. Lankadipati. That क्या हो गया? धीमन
नहीं बताना कौन सा अदर ग्रुप की बात हो रही है, वरना तुमको रिक्वेस्ट आएंगे रोज वो ज्वाइन करने के लिए ग्रुप पता है तुमको.
This other group is a group of me, Adil, and Dhimant, where we discuss podcast.
So it's the three of us where we discussed anything and everything related to the Great Indian Points and Miles show, जिसपे हम आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा time बिता रहे हैं. But anyways, with that, Amya, let's come to you. Okay. From your lens, we know that execution matters, and SmartBuy has been there for years. It's battle tested. We've all loved it. We've all used it. Usme when it works, when it doesn't work, when it breaks, when it doesn't break, कब चलेगा नहीं चलेगा, सब पता है हमें, right? iShop is wide and open, and it's allowing full redemptions for you right now. There's no nonsense of like 70-30% कुछ नहीं, right? Complete 1 rupee का redemption कर सकते हैं. Now with HSBC, what is the angle that HSBC is playing on? What are your thoughts here, and how should we think about it?
They are allowing 100% redemption, I think, which is definitely a great thing, right? Like, and I think in that itself, I think it is super useful. I think it's a very well thought of program, right? Like, so they've put very reasonable limits. Right? You're talking of like 1 lakh worth of spends, roughly give or take every month, which is it can be low, but for a lot of people, I think it should be fine. You're booking domestic flights and all, it is fine. You're booking international for 2 people, it's probably fine to an extent. But I think these other soft features are the game changers. The automatic price matching. You see that in a lot of American portals. It is beautiful, right? You don't need to worry. Suddenly the price drops after a few days. You can claim it. You can claim the lower price. You can cancel, man. If I need to go to a Europe, or those visa people, those people treat you like a second class person before, like, oh, make sure you have a return ticket before you need to go, and there's no guarantee that they're going to honor your booking. But I will definitely come to HSBC Premier to book these tickets. Why should I go anywhere else?
Yeah, I think.
But one interesting thing, Adil, that Ameya mentioned, and I want to double click on that. So when I was in the US a few years back, right, and somebody was talking to me about an app called Hopper. So that's exactly the partner that HSBC has chosen, right? They've gone with Hopper, which is a ex-Expedia team which has set this up, right? And I'm actually hoping that, considering that they're not doing on their own, I mean, that's actually a better hope for me कि कोई तो third party कर रहा है, so that the development bandwidth is not coming from the bank. That's something that I like, honestly.
Yeah. Let's take a few comments here. So I love this one. The brownie guy. He's saying he's sitting in HSBC and watching this right now. So how awesome is that? But like, I'm sure this is the HSBC back office, right? I mean, the front office, though, for sure will be closed at this point in time, unless you're in a different country, the brownie guy. But anyways, thank you for tuning in, sir. Let's come to another one. And this is Yash. Yash is saying that Ameya's HSBC love is finally paying off. For sure. I think we can all see Ameya in his glory today. SV Hub is saying he was waiting for this discussion from you folks since the news break this morning. Thanks, yaar. SV, thanks for tuning in today. Param has a compliment for Dhimant. He said, love Dhimant's dialogue. Card वही super premium है जो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में points कमा के दे. I think the only problem, Param, is असली points ना reward multiplier से बनते हैं. तो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में 10x वाले points नहीं बनते, 5x वाले points नहीं बनते. तो धीमंत बता रहा है रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन मैं धीमंत को जानता हूं, वो उसका दिमाग 20x में रहता है हमेशा. But anyways, I think we've talked about this. I think both are equally important, which is rightly said. But whatever works for either one of us.
Talking of Rosmarra ki Zindagi, there is one comment that I saw some time back, and it absolutely makes sense. HSBC Premier gives you limited points for rent payment. Yeah, it's a game changer. And it
1 lakh.
Even more so. 1 lakh.
मैं उल्टा बोल रहा हूँ कि it's a great thing because you can choose between rent, you can choose between tax payment, you can choose between utility, insurance, everything, right? So I mean, no doubt about that.
Yeah, there is one comment that I have to take because you all know my persona, right? So एक तो मेरे को अभी खुजली हो रही है, I have to take this, which is like Shashwat is saying, how good was the ICICI Emirates Skywards card? Shashwat, it's not was, it still is. It still is a great card. If you want Emirates Gold, this is the only way to get it at this point in time, I feel, in the most amazing fashion. I don't know if they're still issuing it, but those of us who got it, we are keeping it very close to our chest. इसको हम बंद नहीं करने वाले. Let it continue and let's make hay while the sun shines.
Adil, वो clickbait comment था, वो इसीलिए डाला उसने comment so that you will pick it up. उसको पता था कि तुम pick up करोगे. वो clickbait था वो. You fell for the clickbait.
अरे I will always fall for stuff like this. You know, like this is a very touchy topic. Cool. Let's dig into this a little more. So what we've done is we've covered chapter 1. Chapter 1 was, is HSBC Premier still king? I think the new king is what we've tried to segment. The second segment is an exciting one that we're going to go into, where we're going to compare TravelOne versus Atlas. And we're going to try and understand who wins. You saw a very healthy banter between Dhimant and Amaya. I hope more fires light up in this section, and we have lots more banter. And what I'd like all of you to do, request you all in the audience, is some of you should support Dhiman and explain the reasons why. Some of you should support Amaya and say, we'll support Amaya, and this is the reason why. And with you, we'd love to have this dialogue and see which one will actually win. Should we actually apply for TravelOne? Should we apply for Atlas? Because I have the Atlas. I don't have any HSBC card. And I am seriously thinking now, is TravelOne actually worth it? So that's the question that we are going to get into right now. Let's get into it, guys. Dhiman, let's talk about the HSBC TravelOne versus the Axis Atlas. Break it down for us. How do you view it? And according to you, who's the winner?
I think you're going to be disappointed a little, Adil, now because the fireworks won't continue, I feel. But yeah, let me give my point of view. I think सुबह से मैं ट्विटर पे यही देख रहा हूँ. कोई तो एटलस को विनर घोषित कर रहा है, कोई तो ट्रैवलॉन को घोषित कर रहा है, कोई तो कंफ्यूज्ड है. So I'll give you my point of view and I'll tell you which three parameters I compared on. And I've also put in my usage patterns of Atlas. So that's the caveat here. One, I think straightforward on joining benefit. I think the HSBC traveling ka joining benefit isn't that great, right? It comes with its caveats. So if somebody is wanting to ensure that what he pays fees for, he gets right away that benefit, I think Atlas serves that better, right? So wo clear hai bahut hi. But we don't buy cards only for joining benefits unless it's the plat charge, which we do buy for joining benefits or take it for joining benefits. So that's one. Second, I think coming to vouchers, right? Vouchers pe dono hi khali hai. So like, I don't think there is any winner there on vouchers, right? So for me, I still would have continued probably saying कि at least मैं Atlas पे कुछ तो ले सकता हूँ. The HSBC पे there is nothing, right? So that's the second point. Now coming to flights and hotels, which is where the real deal is, because it's a travel card. And here, while Atlas covers and converts at a better ratio, I still feel that it doesn't have the right opportunities. The own travel portal HSBC पे जो है, I think उसके लिए this card is fantastic. And like Amaya mentioned, the own portal looks very, very promising, right? The benefits, the convenience fee, the everything that's put into place looks very, very clear. Plus, I will tell you a very big important reason why I would have told somebody to apply for TravelOne. Atlas मिलना बहुत ही pain है, number one. Secondly, people who already have 3 cards, and many of us have 3 cards. This is a great diversity. Adil, I know you are in that group. मैं आपको बोलूंगा Adil, knowing your travel pattern, it's a definite must. I know someone like you, I don't know anybody like you, is always running short of acquire points. This is that ability to say, okay, I will spend on this card for a slightly lower return ratio if required, but I always have a great acquire conversion, no limits till now. And imagine doing one big spend on this card and like, I don't know how many acquire points you can make out of it. So for me, I think purely from the lens of how I use the card, TravelOne makes more sense over Atlas. Like, that's my personal point of view. Also, I don't think I'm going to be able to spend 7.5 lakhs on Atlas, which means zero renewal benefit, and somehow I don't like it. So that's my point of view. My vote is for TravelOne.
Yeah, you just like lit up a fire right now. This is like a big announcement where Dhimant actually feels that TravelOne trumps Atlas. And Dhimant, while you summarize the whole thing, can we get into the brass tacks, real basics, and understand Axis reward rate 4% there? How does that compare to TravelOne on the base reward? And then how do the multipliers convert? Let's just do like quick answers to those.
Yeah, I think just let's look at the multipliers now. Amaya, just help me wherever I'm looking at that, right? So I'm saying that मुझे अगर flights book करनी है, I today choose Atlas because of, let's say, XYZ reasons, and the multiplier that I get is 10%, roughly the maths is, right? So here we are talking about a base rate of 2%, and we are talking about a multiplier of 6x, right? So which are talking about a 12%, which can straight away get converted to a core, no limits. Right? If you remember most of the discussions that we do with our subscribers, the biggest problem is that even after spending 15 lakhs on Atlas, you still cannot do probably a full family trip because of the restriction of the Group A limits, right? Singapore Airlines, let's say you're basically going to get 60,000 Singapore miles. You can't even get 2 tickets on business class, right? And here I'm excluding M4B, I'm excluding any other cards because that guy only has the Atlas, right? That's how I see it. I'm saying even if I have a slightly lower ratio, I would still probably prefer Travel One because of the same reason that it has a higher multiplier and it converts without any limit to Accor or Singapore Airlines for that matter, right? So, and by the way, HSBC has a great. I saw somebody tweeting saying that Axis has a great list of partners. I think HSBC is probably the second best when it comes to the number of partners and great ratios. I mean, at least that's what my point of view is. Amaya, please correct me on the maths if the maths is on par.
Give or take, yes. Adil, I've tried to share screen. See if you can put it up on the sync.
Go ahead
Yeah,
and share
let's
it.
just say the same. Yeah.
Go ahead and share it.
I've shared. I think you need to enable it.
Okay, here you go. Let's just zoom in a little bit, Amaya, so that we can all see
Yes,
it.
sir.
Command plus.
Yeah, folks, if you want to access
Please.
tiny URL, HSBC Travel. Okay, for everyone.
Yeah, and
You're saying
thanks
if
for
they want access to the doc, is it?
This doc is public.
Acha, so okay. Can you just copy paste and send it into the WhatsApp group? I will pin it here.
Yeah, that's my WhatsApp group. You can copy it from there.
I'll take it. Okay. So guys, what Amaya is saying is, if you want access to the doc, I'm putting it here in the comments. You all can copy it from the comments, and you all can take it up there. The comment is there on YouTube, so you can pick up the doc from YouTube. I'm also creating a banner here. And I will flash that on screen. So you all can go to this link and you all can access the doc. So awesome. I think people have already started logging in. You see there. So Amaya, let's go for it. Go for it and take us through this.
Awesome. So let's get into, I think Nivand has already covered some of this. But here is, I think, before getting into the individual details, here is my broad
Amaya, can you do one more command plus? Thoda or zoom. Just want it to be a better experience for people who are on mobile.
Even better?
This is good. Yeah.
Awesome. Before getting into this maths, I'll give you my opening opinion, which is that if you already have an Infinia, then Atlas is probably a best card for you. But if you do not have any other super premium, TravelOne absolutely kills it. I think if you were given a choice to pick, if you had to pick one, I will pick TravelOne. If you have to pick both, take both Atlas as well as TravelOne. And I'll get into my rationale why. So number one, the base reward rate, TravelOne gives you 2%, right? Atlas is giving you 4%. So while Atlas has a better base reward rate, TravelOne adds an extra 1% when you take the milestone. The milestone is big. But the real killer, the real kicker is going to be these multipliers. So you're basically getting a 16% return when it comes to flights. You're getting a 24% return when it comes to hotels. This is unheard of a medium category card. This is insane. These kind of returns, 16% on flights. And mind you, it's not just 16% on flights. You also come with a bunch of soft benefits. The soft benefits include free cancellation, which is an absolute game changer according to me. Second thing is they will do price match. So how the price match works, at least I've read the terms and conditions. And what he claims is that if you're able to find a price that is cheaper than this price, whatever is there in the HSBC portal, and if you're able to send screenshots and they're able to reproduce without applying any coupons, etc., they will refund you the balance that is there in travel credits. So basically what this gives you is like, it gives you as close as possible to what is the best price available. So that is great. And 16%, man. 16% for flights, 24% for hotels. It is leaving Atlas like 1 kilometer behind doing this. This is absolutely crazy. And I think if you also look at and contrast the rates between Premier and TravelOne, they're almost identical. I'm sure hotels, Premier is way better.
Yeah, just one thing. There are 3-4 comments that are asking where they're saying, Deeman just mentioned that reward rate for HSBC TravelOne is 2%, right?
Yeah.
And 2% into 4x will become 8. So there 16 points kaise dikha raha hai?
It's because it's an OTA, no?
Sorry?
So HSBC TravelOne gives you extra points for OTA. I will redo this calculation in case I've screwed up over here.
Okay.
Their own. If I'm not mistaken, their own portal also gives 4%, right?
Yeah.
Their own portal also gives 4%, and that's why it's a multiplier, right?
As I've copied this from the HSBC site itself, but I'm assuming the how they came up with this number is because their own portal is an OTA, and an OTA it gives you 2x by default.
So, but still, what we're saying is to clarify to the audience, base reward rate is 2%, but when you book through portal, it's 4%, and you get multipliers on the 4%.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
that's what at least that's what at least their accelerated PDF that they've released today says. And this whatever Amay is showing on the screen is exactly what is showing on the HSBC website.
This I pulled from their website.
Yeah,
in the left hand side I pulled from the website, right hand side I have calculated.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. People are confirming as well, but I just want to reconfirm because 3-4 people asked on the live stream. Please continue.
So, so their own website is deemed to be an OTA, the Hopper website, and 4% and 4x on that, which is basically 16x. That's what it means.
Understood.
That's how I guess they came up with these numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the same question when I was looking at it. The other highlight thing, the thing I will highlight is if you look at the platinum card, that's also, and for a lifetime free card, this is giving pretty good returns. Like we're talking of 6.66, I guess this gets to 15, 5 are 75. It is 5.55, I guess. Yeah. So 8 by 150 is 5.55%. 5.55% is decent for a lifetime free card. But the TravelOne is the absolute killer, man. Like 5,000 rupees card, you get a decent 3,000 as welcome benefit plus 1,000 more if you spend like I think 10,000 in a month or something. So you're almost making up the joining fees and crazy returns. So if you were to say I want to pick one card, I will pick the TravelOne.
Amay, let me ask you a question here now. Just can you just stick to that top of the sheet once, the same table. If you look at the flights, I'm going to re-ask that question. If you have 10 flights in a year, in a month that you're booking, right? Even then, if you don't get the Premier, it's still fine to have the TravelOne card, right? Because look at the difference between an HSBC Premier and a TravelOne card on the flights category. It's minuscule.
Like Premier is just like if you have it, it is great if you're able to get it through salary account or we know a friend of ours who has it because he wants a home loan with them. That is great, but it's not a necessity, right? Like say for example, the difference between TravelOne and Premier is much smaller than the difference between say Diamond Black and Infinia.
Yeah, I just feel that the only place where Atlas, you said at use Atlas kilometers away, but the only place where I felt comfortable using Atlas is when there are very complex itineraries that I have to buy on the website, and there is no option but to book on the website of the airline. I think that's the only use case. I don't know whether I'll get the card only for that reason or like I'm not really sure about it at this point of time.
I'm actually a little so. Let's look at the reasoning, right? Like sure, granted. Sometimes you want to book directly on the airline website, but you go back one more step. And why do you want to do that? It's mostly because the cancellation process is straightforward, right? You don't want to go through an OTA and deal with the hassle. This one gives you free cancellations by default.
Yeah, fair.
My only concern is the limit over here. That is if you are booking flights for multiple people, 1,12,000 might not be enough. You're booking for 3 people, 4 people. But apart from that, I think it's going to be a default for.
But again, see, 99% of the people are going to be in the zone where these limits are going to be enough for them. I think we keep debating about SmartBuy limits. Kaun hit karta hai SmartBuy limits? Like, I mean, let's be practical, no? Minus Adil, sorry.
No, but I mean, realistic scenarios are if you're a family of 3-4 people, you're going on a lengthy trip or something, these limits will get hit. But if you're just talking about say domestic or one-off international, this is still great.
Adil, there is a very interesting comment, and I think I'm seeing 2-3 people ask this comment, right? So while we may not be prepared or we've not thought about this question, somebody is saying that most people here, starters, hold Atlas plus Plat Travel. Do you see somebody doing Atlas plus TravelOne and throw Plat Travel away? Like this is one of the questions, but I think I saw 2-3 comments on the same lines. It's a very interesting take. Adil, your points on this.
Plat Travel to kabhi picking nahi, right? Plat Travel is like it is that one insane card which will give you points on anything, which is your everyday spends, Rozmarra ki zindagi, like Dimant was saying. But it is also that one on completion of like insurance spends or tax spends or anything that does not give you spends is a milestone based card that gives you 50,000 Amex points. Those 50,000 Amex points are incredibly powerful and sacred. So you can't kind of let them go. So the Plaid Travel will continue to stay in the wallet. Now, whether it's Atlas or Travel One, that I think the battle is on. And I don't think we have the answer because with Ameya's document here, I think Ameya has done a great job of at least convincing me that Travel One might now finally be more powerful than the Atlas. But Dhimant, you were on the fence.
No. I'm not on the fence. I am very clear. I am saying for me, one reason is that I anyways don't want to hold the Atlas because I have three cards and I'm holding it in a pseudo manner right now. Plus, I'm not going to be able to hit the 7.5 lakhs on Atlas for sure. So it's
Are
out
you
of
saying
question for me.
are you saying you're going to close the Atlas?
I am
India
going to
wants
get
to
the
know.
travel. I'm going to get the travel one for sure. I have 6 months more to think about Atlas, but the day I close Atlas, it looks like Atlas will get revalued. So, for the benefit of the whole country, let me do that anyways.
Cool, cool. Yeah, let's continue with the doc. Let's go ahead and share
Yeah,
all the
But I
memories.
wouldn't.
so the thing I will say that if you have to pick one card, it will be Travel One. If, say, for example, let's take the Persona, right? If you are a person without a super premium card, you want to have a card that helps you earn points towards travel, right? Fly on a route in which you don't have too many airlines or whatever it is. You want a travel focused card. First choice will be Travel One. Ideal choice will be you get both Travel One and Atlas. Use Atlas for regular spends. Use Travel One for the special spends. But if you don't want to get the hassle of getting two cards, the one card you should get will be Travel One.
Hey,
But
Amay, one quick question here, and again, I have not used Travel One, so this is a question. Maybe if anybody in the audience also has this card, maybe can answer that. One other sweet spot that I'm seeing is a lot of these OTAs have run their own crazy discounts, right? Like card offers and extra coupons. I don't think that we always take in our calculations because काफी बार आपको वही रेट पे बुक करना पड़ता है जो आपको स्मार्ट बाय देती है जो आपको एटलस के ट्रैवल देती है. Does that also make it sweeter, the fact that it's an OTA? Like, or because the 4x doesn't apply? I'm talking about
yeah,
base spend right now. I'm not talking about the multiplier. 4% की बात
yeah,
कर रहा हूँ.
you get 4% on Travel One, you get 4% on Atlas. So it's like it's
No,
not
no.
something that hits it one way or the other.
It's 4% plus the coupon benefit that you get. No,
Same for Atlas
it's
also.
4. But there तो वहाँ पे 10% है ना? नहीं, वहाँ पे 10% नहीं मिलेगा because it's a OTA. Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's the no. I mean, it's a good benefit, but then it doesn't matter. Uh, Here's the other thing, which is the kicker, right? You look at we are talking about the transfer partners. Look at the set of transfer partners from here. Useful ones, there is Air India. I wouldn't personally transfer it, but one could if they want to. Look at the variety over here. You've got Japan Airlines, super awesome. There's Singapore anywhere across the board. There is Qatar for Avios. These transfer ratios are not great, so I will not put to these ones. Vietnam Airlines, occasionally you can get great offers, and the transfer ratio on Travel One and Premier is great. I've said here Premier. I'm going to just edit this doc live. I'm really sorry. Why is my thing not clicking? Okay, this is Premier and Travel One. Okay, there's something wrong with my mouse. Accor is the other big one. You get one-to-one transfer on Accor. It's beautiful, man. So it's uncapped, big caps. You get to transfer to Accor, you get to transfer to Vietnam, you get to transfer to JAL, Singapore, Avios, Thai, if you need to. It's awesome. It is too good.
Yeah, Dhimant, you just I don't know, but Ameya, what you just said now, right? I have to apply the card immediately after this live stream because you just said JAL. Because the only way we could get JAL was by a trade-off, right? The trade-off
Yeah.
was sacrifice your Magnus Burgundy points or sacrifice your Atlas points because group A limit and then move it there. But now suddenly you've shown us that JAL is available here without any limits. And therefore, if we move travel spends here, this could be your JAL stash. And JAL stash is powerful, not just for Japan Airlines flights. You can book Emirates as well using JAL points. And that is something that's very, very appealing and exciting to me.
So
So,
JAL also it is one of the most tax efficient program, right? You want to get the cheapest rates, it is JAL. We've talked about it enough on a bunch of episodes, on our Japan episode, on the Italy episode as well, for that matter. You more often than not get the lowest taxes and best redemptions on JAL, especially business class, even on economy. So I think it opens up a lot of things, and so it's a great move by HSBC. Really well done. Well thought of also, and I'm happy. I'm personally very happy.
here, answer this question, Amaya. Atit is saying, does a core transfer mean 72% back on hotel booking via Premier? Are we reading this correctly?
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
like to put that kind of a value, but yeah, essentially, if you wish to do the calculation that way, sure, it's a 1-to-1. Yeah.
So again, summarizing, is this correct, Amaya? Sunny says TravelOne gives you 48% back for hotels, 32% back for flights when converting to Accor. Is that factually correct?
I mean, if you want to treat it that way, I'm not a fan. I've talked about it in the past. I don't like to
No,
do
but if
this.
you do move it to Accor, is that how you can? Are those numbers
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just over
Yes.
clarifying so that everybody's on the same page, right? Because you're
Yes.
seeing a lot of information coming by. I just want people to be aware and get a sense of like what does this really mean if you do move to Accor. If you don't move to Accor, what you already showed makes sense, Amya, right?
You get 24 Accor points, which is worth 48 rupees of Accor redemption. Yeah, is the bottom line.
Got it. Got it. Cool. Let's go through the rest of your doc, Amya. You should run through the bullets that you've put down.
That's all the doc is, like essentially, welcome benefits are decent. Travel perks and all are there. I did not add the point with respect to the free cancellations, which is the game changer. Price match and all is also there. But the important things to take away are these ratios,
Got it.
as well as these airline partners and hotel partners.
Got it.
tinyurl.com, HSBC Travel. The link is here.
So
Yeah. So one more thing, Adil, can you just pull up a comment from Ramu? I think there was a comment there, and I think that's a great point that we may have missed. While it's an original feature and it's not announced today, but there's also a 15% coupon that comes with all OTAs if you use the HSBC Travel one, right? So in cases where you're not depending on the own multiplier, that 15% coupon plus your 15% with the OTA is still a very good. I mean, that would. I'm assuming कि ये 15% off होके खुद के portal पे नहीं मिलेगा. So you can choose and mix and match the way you want. I think it gives you more flexibility than Atlas, I feel.
So,
Yeah.
Amya, are you a convert from Atlas to TravelOne as well?
Man, I'm holding the Premier, so I think I am anyway converted, but it's because I hold the Premier. I don't need the TravelOne because Premier gives me everything with TravelOne and more.
Hey, but Amaya, that's a good question, no? Like, reopen the Premier. I have a window till 31st August, or should I get the travel one? No, serious question because I have to choose. I have to make a choice.
So I feel if you're able to get the Premier without too much else, right? Like, I mean, I have the Premier via my salary account, so it works for me. The way I will put it is Premier is a very, very, very flexible card, right? I mean, as you mentioned, that 1 lakh per month in restricted categories, it can go towards insurance, it can go towards utilities, it can go towards rent. They also have one of the better buy one get one free offers of movie tickets for those who are interested. 750 rupees. Oh no, I think it's 500 rupees or 750. I forgot which one. It's a big number. So
750. Yeah.
750. Yeah, I book for our friend Arun all the time, and I end up using this. But yeah, I mean, it's a much more flexible card. It's something if you're able to get the card without anything else. I'd say.
The way I'm thinking right now is that it takes away the reason for you to maintain a Premier account unless you're using that as a primary account. For me, I'm probably not going to use my Premier account, right? So that's why I kind of thought of closing the card. But like if TravelOne gives me 2% lesser, I'll probably consider doing a TravelOne. Let's see.
If it comes at an extra cost of holding the account, then just pick TravelOne. I think that's a no-brainer.
So let's see. Adil का link पहले आता है, मेरा जाता है. After this, I'm applying first. Let's see किसका पहले जाता है application.
Yeah, folks who are applying, if you click from this link, we will get some benefit. It's linked in our description as well as in this sheet. So if you want to support,
do we know what is the max number of HSBC cards one can hold Is it
Uh,
restricted like access to 3?
So as far as I know, I don't think there is an upper cap, but there is one caveat that they don't let you apply. They have a big cold application window. Like I think you have to wait for 6 months before applying for your next card. So if you've applied for now, I'm not very clear on this. Is it 6 months after a failed attempt or a successful attempt? But there is definitely some 6 months funda over there saying that, for example, I know for sure that if you applied and you got rejected, you will have to wait for 6 months. Now, if you have applied and you got accepted, maybe you might be able to apply immediately.
No, so my question is, what if someone wants to apply both for Premier and for the
Can do.
Travel One?
Can do. Three cards, so I
Will that
know.
also have a 6-month wait?
You will
No.
have to try and find out, man. I'm not entirely sure. I think you should be able to do it. But if you had a failed HSBC application in the past 6 months, you won't be able to do it. That's my understanding.
Got it.
Tell me when I
Cool.
can come off the sheet and we can start to talk about other things. I can't see any of the
Yeah.
comments.
You can come off the screen share. I'm going to remove the screen share for you, and we'll get chatting here. So let's come on to our next segment now. I think it's clear that the Travel One is a clear winner. One of those fun sayings is "winner, winner, chicken dinner." So there you go. I think a big winner. But I think the put in a very interesting comment. Now, I want to get both your takes here. And then I'd love to understand takes of everyone who's participating today on the live stream as well. How do you think of prioritization, right? So Ishwar is saying, number one, for whatever reason, Magnus Burgundy. After Magnus Burgundy, Infinia. After Infinia, Premier. Then EPM, then Atlas, then Travel One, then Plat Travel. So, do you agree with this order? I don't agree with this order completely, and I'd like to have my own variations. But Ameya, since you didn't agree either, let's go with your order first, and then we'll come to Deepak.
By the way, just calling out to the audience, Ishwar is a friend of the show. We've had a great episode with him. You should definitely watch it. But getting into this order, what I disagree with, and in fact, to be honest, even before this episode, I would have put Infinia below Premier. You remember we had a super premium cards episode, and we went to the discussion saying if we have to close cards, which cards will we close first? And I was very, very clear on that. This just solidifies things. I think it is Magnus Burgundy. I guess you said Married Burgundy, but Magnus Burgundy first, Premier second, Infinia third, EPM next. Atlas and TravelOne, I'll put them on equal footing. At least in my case, I would say Atlas better than TravelOne. That is because I have another super premium because I can put my travel and hotel spends. But if I have no travel and no super premium card for travel and hotel spends, it is easy the TravelOne. And yeah, Plat Travel at the bottom. I agree with that too.
You think Plat Travel should be last?
No doubt.
I don't agree with that, yeah. For me,
I also don't agree.
But Demons, let's hear from you. What is Demons' preferred order?
Ishwar, I think the way you looked at it and the way Amaya looked at it, I think while the order looks different, I think both of you went from a pure value percentage lens and how you think about it, right? The way I think about it is I like stacked benefits. I like places where I get different advantages from different cards, and that for me decides my order. So, for example, Magnus Burgundy, absolute king, zero doubt about it. I cannot get vouchers from that, so Infinia is second for me, no doubt about it. My daily driver, Magnus Burgundy plus Infinia, I would hold it any day of the year. After that, I think for me will be Plat Travel, largely because it gives me that flexibility of earning that 50,000 points, which are super handy when I want instant conversions. उसके बाद मेरे लिए प्रीमियर आएगा. उसके बाद I will probably have actually CPM and travel all in a similar bucket. I mean, good to have. नहीं हुआ तो मेरा काम चल जाएगा. But for me, if I have to hold 3 cards, it will be Magnus Burgundy, Infinia, and Plat Travel. Like, this is my choice out of these 3. One HDFC, one Axis, one Amex. Like I always say, always hold 3 different cards as my first 3 cards.
I think my view is slightly different. Agreed that Magnus Burgundy will be first. But I do think that for me, the number 2 card now is EPM.
It's Premier. EPM.
EPM. And then comes Infinia. Because I have these 3, I feel like I don't need the Premier. So Premier goes out of the window for me. And then immediately after the top 3, I get Plat Travel because Plat Travel allows me to do insurance spends, it allows me to do tax spends, and that 4 lakh is an amazing sweet spot. Uske
Agree.
baad, now having spoken to both of you, I think it will become TravelOne and finally Atlas. So slight change in the pecking order, but before this live stream today, I would have never thought that Atlas would be my last card. Uh, and I would have always thought it would be higher up the pecking order. It's hard for Atlas purely going by what we're seeing. Having said that, I think the only thing missing right now for TravelOne is the gift voucher thing. If the gift voucher comes in, man, it goes like another league. Because Atlas also does not have gift vouchers. Keep that in mind, right? But it does push it to another level altogether.
But Adil, if that happens, then Premier automatically becomes higher than Infinia also for me. So that's interesting, right? Because if that happens, the vouchers thing, then it's a very dicey game. But I'll tell you one thing. Interestingly, Ishwar asked this question, right? And Ishwar is one of those guys who's told his story how he started from base cards and grew up to super premium cards, right? Let's take a scenario where somebody who doesn't have the premium cards, uska picking order kya hoga? The moment you remove the Magnus Burgundy, the Infinia, the Premier, then the interesting part starts, right? I would say Plat Travel, TravelOne, and Atlas is actually a deadly choice to select from now. And I think some people have already mentioned that HSBC doesn't serve many pin codes. So it may be good idea only for the 10 top cities, right? So if you are in one of those top 10 cities, just get the TravelOne. I mean, that's what my recommendation would be.
Cool, cool. With that, guys, we just crossed 2,000 of you all attending the live stream. How mad is this on a Wednesday evening? I see there are 450 odd of you on YouTube. I see there are 880 odd of you on the Great Indian Mile Twitter. There are 350 odd people on Demon's Twitter, and there are about 300 people on my Twitter. So again, big thanks to all of you, 2,000 of you, to tuning in so late in the evening. But let's keep this conversation going. There are a lot of fun comments that I want to take now. And then we'll get into a few. This is a nice light-hearted one from Kshitij. जब से धीमन ने अकॉर प्लैटिनम से कतार गोल्ड और वन वर्ल्ड सफायर अनलॉक करना बताया है, तब से वही दिमाग घुमा हुआ है. TravelOne से कतार बुक करना पड़ेगा अभी to unlock the benefit. I mean, look at the beauty of this game, right? I mean, you drop an insight and the new card comes and people are like, I don't know if they are Dhimanting Max or they are Ameafying Max. This is Amea double dip classic, right? You're taking something with Accor Platinum and linking it to Qatar Gold, but you're doing a double dip like Amea by taking the HSBC TravelOne card. How awesome is that? So thank you, Kshitij, for that.
By the way, I'm also thinking of doing the same thing because मैं भी सोच रहा था कि I need one booking, so I may do it on Travel Edge though, not on HSBC Premier TravelOne, but you never know.
Yeah. Let's come to another one, which is from, look at this, from Ajit. Ajit is a good friend, by the way. Ajit is based in Chennai. Ajit travels like crazy, and Ajit travels like crazy on Indigo. So Ajit, good to see you, yaar. He said he had decided no more cards for the year, but then he got EPM. IDFC did not excite him, but then the TravelOne, man, this is like really, really, exciting most people out there on the credit card verse. Let's come
Hey,
to
by the
another one.
way, yeah,
हाँ,
go
बोलो.
ahead, sorry. I
Go ahead,
wanted
go
to
ahead.
add one more here because one of the questions that we also get regularly on our channel is that I don't even get the Regalia Gold. क्या करना है? How do I start my journey? I think that's one opportunity here with HSBC Platinum, right? I saw just a comment right now which said that can I start with a Platinum to get into the ecosystem? I would say that this is probably one of the only cards, an absolutely LTF card which allows you to transfer to Miles partners. It's unheard of, right? And my suggestion to anybody who is in that game who doesn't want to hold a basic card which doesn't convert into miles, start with HSBC Platinum. No brainer. No brainer. I just want to leave that thought here.
Awesome. Varun, welcome. Thanks for joining in all the way from Africa. So pretty awesome. I mean, although we are in IST time zone today, we have attendance from US, we have attendance from Canada, we have attendance from Africa, and then somebody also said that they are from Indonesia. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Let's come back. Tushar is saying he's got two questions. Between Induslind Avios and which is Qatar and the BA variant, which one is better for someone who is about to retire? Which are the cards one should try to secure beforehand? Amaya, Are you still recommending the Qatar Industrial Avios card, or are you going to turn a googly and say get the travel one now?
I still recommend the card. I think it has its sweet spots. But I think Tushar's question was more with respect to saying that do you pick the Qatar variant or do you pick the BA
Yeah,
variant?
yeah.
Uh, I think it mostly doesn't matter. There are few minute here and there. The only thing that I will say is that the family pooling programs are very different across both of them. So you might want to take that into consideration. Like British, I think that both of them will allow you to do family pooling within your family. The definition of family is a lot wider for the British one. So if you're just trying to split hairs, then British is probably better. But if you're like Dhimant who doesn't like England as a country, then you would pick the Qatar one.
Cool, cool. There's another one that we'll take from Atit, and Atit is saying, does HSBC allow to use reward points for booking flights and hotels on their new portal, not just transfer of miles? Amaya is smiling and Amaya is saying yes. Is that a yes, Amaya?
Yeah, it's like SmartBuy basically, but with 100% redemption and free cancellation.
There you go. There you go. This. Atit, are you convinced now? Are you going to be getting the card or not? Drop it in the comments. Let's take it from there. Let's come to another comment, which is actually this is another one from Atit only, and let's take this one. Dhiman, can you walk us through standard exclusions allowed in Premier, which has greater than 1 lakh limit?
The standard exclusions allowed are your insurance, your rent, your tax payments, and utilities. All four are allowed till 1 lakh rupees, but you have to choose which one. Like it's not adding, like it's not 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it's totally 1 lakh.
Cool. Let's come to the other one from Rishabh. With so much competition heating up from ICICI and HSBC, do you guys think HDFC will revalue Infinia or something bigger is on the horizon from HDFC? Rishabh, yaar, Infinia, Galaxia, Infinia Reserve, so many of these have been on and off the prowl over the last couple of years. But we have a specialist on the show who is known for his recommendations. Why don't we ask that Mr. Specialist? Dhiman, batao, kya lag raha hai?
Yeah, so I have said this multiple times on multiple podcasts, and I'm going to repeat it. I feel that the Infinia Reserve ka mujhe nahi pata because that's a gone conclusion. I feel if HDFC is smart, they will get a travel card to compete. If I am HDFC, there is no point trying to play around with Infinia. It has its own sweet spot. They've protected the card. I don't think anybody will close the Infinia. किसी की औकात नहीं है कि आज जाके बोले कि मेरा Infinia ले लो वापस. बहुत कम ऐसा possibility है. So what they're going to probably do is probably going to have a travel card and find a sweet spot and compete with the Atlases and the HSBC of the world is what I feel. They may not because they're known to be extremely, arrogant about their position, etc. But I don't personally feel that HDFC inferior revalue hoga. Also, I had mentioned this. What they may do to test waters or to protect turf, they may come up with a limited time offer. If you transfer this in the next 3 months, you'll get a bonus. Yeah, you can expect, Rishabh, is what I feel. And again, festive season is coming along, so expect some sweet spot like that, which they also did earlier as well, right? So that's my at least prediction.
All right, let's come to the next one. The next one is from Amar. And Amar says he's got 290k points from his previous Magnus, which is closed now. What does he do with these points? Should he get Magnus Burgundy? He doesn't want to move from Indocent Pioneer for banking. Amaya, you want to take this one?
My understanding is with the recent changes that they have, they won't get converted into Magnus Burgundy points. I could be wrong, but this is my impression with the recent changes that they have implemented. So, I mean, I think it's not a matter of causality here. You have 290k points, you have 290k points. If you think that you can justify a Magnus Burgundy, you get a Magnus Burgundy. I don't think they're related to each other.
All right, with that, let's come to the next one. Dhiman, perhaps you can take this. What happens if I let go of my HSBC Premier account? Can I still retain my HSBC Premier card? And if I do I have to pay the 20k INR in fees?
Hey Vishwas, I think we keep chatting on Insta. So like my answer is very simple. HSBC systems are very clear. The moment I stopped my salary account into HSBC, within 45 days, I got an email from them that you're not maintaining your criteria. So expect them to send out these emails immediately, and you will be charged for your card for sure, and you will have to pay 20K. So they gave me an option to downgrade, upgrade the card. I said, no, abhi ke liye aap close kar do. I'll take a call based on what's happening. And I'm glad I did, because now I can probably happily go with the travel one, right? So that's what it is, Vishwas. If you can maintain the HSBC Premier account, great. If you cannot, then you will pay 20K for sure.
All right, let's come to another one. Dhimant, again for you. Sunil is saying, Dhimant sir, आपने एक प्रोग्राम में सिग्नेचर प्रोग्राम के बारे में बताया था. क्या होता है ये? आपने अभिनंदन सर वाले एपिसोड में ये बताया था. I think he's referring to the Accor Brazilian signature program. You want to talk about that?
Okay. Yeah, so Sunil, I think if you're talking about the Accor signature program, it's basically a program like Accor Plus, but not like Accor Plus. It's basically a program in Brazil which doesn't exist in anywhere in the world, where it's a legal way to buy Accor points. So you subscribe for a plan. So there are multiple tiers. The absolute one is signature. Absolute is the highest tier of the program, where you pay, let's say in Indian rupees, some 90,000 or 1 lakh rupees. I think it's increased now, and you get 75,000 or 80,000 Accor points, right? We all know that uski worth आज 1.5 lakh rupees hai. That's one. Secondly, it unlocks a very interesting thing. After the first 4 months, you can use your account to transfer Accor points to somebody legally, right? Which means आप family को transfer कर सकते हो. It's happened a lot of times where you want to get your parents to travel alone. It's a very interesting program for that, right? So look up for Brazil signature program. If you are somebody who doesn't have enough credit cards to earn Accor points, this is a fantastic way of getting your Accor stash. Right? Think about it.
Cool. Thanks for that, Dhimant. Let's take another one by Harishankar. And Harishankar is saying he spoke to Amex customer care regarding buying points. They told him that he can purchase as many points as he has. Do you think it's worth buying, say, 60K points at 24K for Marriott? It's great, I would say, Harishankar, but I don't think it's technically possible. So here's what the Amex rule says. The Amex rule says you can buy as many points as you have for a maximum of 10,000 points. But the rule also says that you should also have minimum of 10,000 points. So long as you have minimum of 10,000 points and there's no upper limit, you can maximum buy 10,000 points in a year. They will be charged 40 paise per point, and your account will be debited for 4,000 rupees plus taxes, I think. But that's that. So you can buy, and you like I buy them every year. I buy the 10,000 every year because I need them. It makes sense to me. So absolute steal for like 40 paisa plus taxes. But you can't buy more. You can buy a max of 10,000.
That's right.
Cool. Let's come to another one. Amya, maybe you can take this. Very, very good question from Santosh. What is your feedback about Kotak Solitaire?
I have not studied this one in detail. It's there on the back burner right now. I will need to look at it.
Dhimant, any idea here? Have you looked at this?
I think it came up with a great announcement and all, but I think the ratios are not that great right now. So considering that Kotak Solitaire is again a high-end card, I would stay put. I mean, just Santosh, invest in the ecosystem that is investing into Miles Partners. Kotak ने किया है, लेकिन let's just wait. I mean, I don't think you should go out and get this card till the time. There are enough and more good cards in the system right now.
All right, back to you, Amya. Question by Nesh. Any opinions on Flipkart Marriott Bonvoy partnership? So, lot has been being talked about, but let's give the TLDR about this for Nesh and for our viewers.
Sure. I think
so go ahead.
Yeah. Go on.
Go ahead, Amya.
I was just saying there are some things we know for sure, some things in which details are not super clear, but what I'm hearing is disappointing. What we know is that there's a 2-to-1 conversion of super coins into Marriott Bonvoy points, which, incidentally, it is a bad ratio. But if you really need those urgent Marriott Bonvoy points, you could use it potentially. Now, Flipkart, I think one insane double dip you can do is that there is this Flipkart Super Coin Zone page in which you will get 100% super coins back for anything that you spend. Okay? So you can then use, say, Axis Flipkart card or Magnus Burgundy, go to Grab Deals, pick as much as 24% back from there. pick 100% super coins back from there, and get a product that you might have anyway wanted. Not all products are useful, but once in a while you get good things like power banks and so on. The transfer ratio is not great. The bad part that I've heard is that the number of points that you are able to earn is very small. The number of points you're able to transfer is also very, very small. I don't know what the exact numbers are. Let's wait for the details to come out. But looking at the caps, I think it's more of a gimmick. It's a PR thing. Dimant, I think you know this better than me.
No, there's a limit on the number of coin. Knowing Flipkart, they would have studied the abuse for sure. So they know for a fact that they would not leave any loophole open. The way I see it is, साल के 6,000 Marriott Bonvoy points you can get from Flipkart. I think that's what I'm reading right now, because you can maximum convert 1,000 points. That's at least what I read. I could be wrong here, but I would want to uh, figure out, right? मतलब क्या है वो maximum number, etc. I don't know whether it's 1,000 per year or like is it 1,000 per month? I'm not really sure on this.
If it's 1,000 per year, it's a gimmick only.
1,000 per year, it's a joke. Like then you should just ignore it. Like forget any announcement happened.
Cool. Let's come to our section 3. The section 3 is designed to help you all understand which card suits which persona. Dimant, I think you should help us map this up, right? What kind of persona should get the Premier? What kind of persona should get the TravelOne? What kind of persona should stick to Atlas? Let's answer these 3 questions. So the first one, what kind of persona should get the Premier?
Somebody who already has the EPM and Infinia, I would still stay away from getting it unless you can transfer your salary account there. I would not do it for just the Premier. Again, second thing is that if you have no other card, in spite of having Infinia and EPM, if you don't have no other card which allows you to pay taxes and you have taxes to be paid, which is 12 lakhs a year, it's another opportunity for you to get the Premier. So this is the personas that I would recommend the Premier to in the high-end side. If you do not have any of these super premium cards and you have the right salary, but you have been unlucky because HDFC and ICICI have their own whims and fancies, right? Then I would recommend you getting the Magnus Burgundy and the Premier. It's a great combo. It's a great combo if you don't have the Infinia and EPM, right? Because it's basically solves for your 2 super premium cards, which will like kill it. Now coming to the people who are starters, again, my suggestion is stick to TravelOne, forget the Premier. Like this is my 2 cents on the entire Premier bit. Who should get it? Who should not get it?
All right, let's come to you answered the Premier question. Dimant, now tell us what kind of persona should stick to TravelOne and what kind of persona should stick to Atlas. Both are great cards, both have great use cases, but let's talk so that people understand, so that they can figure out where they people who can get both, but then if there is one decision to be made and you have to stick to one, what kind of persona will choose what?
If you have a lot of travel spends which are happening, let's say, let's put a number, right? Let's not put unreasonable numbers. If you travel at least once or twice a month on flights and book revenue, get the TravelOne, right? Because you're going to get a chance to earn like crazy amount of multipliers, right? Atlas doesn't allow that, right? Plus, Atlas Pay, you have to book on the own website today. I mean, you need the flexibility to be able to book anywhere you want, right? So, in my head, I think that's a winner. If there is somebody who wants a good middle card for all base spends, it's no brainer that you get the Atlas because you are spending wherever you want. You go to your kirane ka dukan, you go to your grocery shop and spend and get that 4%, convert it to Accor and you're sorted, or convert to Singapore Airlines, you're sorted. So that's my recommendation. If I have to add one more persona who does, let's say, a lot of travel and also wants, let's say, a good base card, there is a persona which can get both, right? For example, let's say I have a lot of offline spends, and I also have, let's say, a lot of flight and hotel bookings that I do on OTS. I think it's worth getting both of them, right? Because you're not getting the other cards. No other basic card, a super premium card can like probably give you 4% outside the top 4 or 5 that we speak about, right? So like no brainer in my head. This is my recommendation on Atlas versus TravelOne.
Okay, Amya, let you're the most real world guy I know. So let's talk about, are there any hidden traps slash surprises when someone is trying to use the HSBC Travel One today? Are there any hidden benefit surprises? What should people be wary of? What should people keep in mind before applying or when trying to use the card?
Okay, let's start with this. Number one, first, let's get to the before applying part. Now, this is something HSBC has been notorious for in the past. If you apply, there's a chance that for the next 30 days, 45 days, there will be radio silence. You will not hear a thing. Suddenly, one fine day, card will come at your doorstep. Right? So,
Yes.
expect this can happen. Even after doing this, getting your account and customer ID and all, those processes were not the smoothest for me. But eventually, once it starts to work, I think it works. Their app experience is not great, but it is functional. I guess it works out. The travel portal, actually, I actually like the thing that they've done is that it's not within the app. You click on the one button inside the app, and it takes you to a dedicated website where things are handled really smoothly. So I think no, I'm glad they went with that direction, and no concerns over there because their app is crappy, to be honest. I think no other catches per se. I think one thing you should look out for also is that they typically have an offer that if you in 1 month within you get your card, if you spend 10,000 rupees, I think this holds on most of the HSBC cards, you're going to get a 1,000 rupee Amazon voucher. So, I mean, see if you're able to maximize that too.
All right. Let me ask another interesting question here, and Dhiman, perhaps you can take this. This is from Rajesh, and Rajesh is asking, how is HSBC customer care compared to Amex and Axis HDFC? Man, what comparison, man, Rajesh? Here you've got the creme de la creme, and then you've got, well, Axis and HDFC. So, Dhiman,
Adit, मेरे को भी थोड़ा सा ना, I have to be smart now because my RM has asked me to share the podcast links. He wants to see the podcast. तो मुझे थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा कि what I should say. But Rajesh, here is my experience. HSBC, I have actually never spoken to anybody. मैं chat पे ही बात करता हूँ. So it's a hit and a miss. Like my suggestion would be that if you're ever trying to talk to HSBC, just do a hookah. Like if you don't get the right agent, just ask him that okay, ठीक है, bye bye, and then again chat. Chat पे 90% of the काम हो जाता है. So I had an experience of recently, well, of the issue with my HSBC Premier suddenly charging a 20K fees because मेरा criteria was not met. So they were very kind enough on the chat. I spent some 5 minutes chatting with them saying, okay, if you're going to charge me 20K. And so they said, okay, sir, you can cancel it. We'll reverse the charges. They only offered, they did everything. The guy actually called me up the next day, 12 noon. He said, okay, sir, have you made up your mind? Very smooth. I personally rate that if you are connected to the right agent, HSBC support is actually in this four, at least after Amex, the second best. At least that's my experience.
cool. Thanks for sharing that, Dhiman. Let's come to Amya. Amya, this is a very interesting question. I think you're the right data-backed brain for this. If I absolutely have to choose between Infinia and Magnus Burgundy, what do I go ahead with?
Oh, I think Magnus Burgundy easy. You choose between anything and Magnus Burgundy, it's a Magnus Burgundy.
Deepan, you want to challenge that? Or do you think you
No,
agree?
Pradeep, if you want to make it any more easier, let me tell you this. If I had to force to close one card between Burgundy Private and Magnus Burgundy also, I would close Burgundy Private card. Like, let's be clear about this. I mean, let's put hand to heart and say. I know that Vishwas will not like it. He's just going to get the Burgundy card, Burgundy Private card very soon.
Cool. I think that's about it, guys. I think, is there anything else we want to talk about, Dhimant, Amya, today? Or should we call it a wrap?
Adil, why don't you
Let's
give us your opinions? You've been asking
yes.
all the questions.
Dude,
He's
Magnus
been
Burgundy,
putting us
hands
in a
down,
spot.
man. Magnus Burgundy, hands down. Like golden goose.
No, but
Yeah.
on the HSBC ones.
Yeah, I think HSBC, I'm very, very, very tempted to move my salary banking relationship from Axis to HSBC and try and get the Premier. But then I'm wondering, like, does it really make sense? Because hey, the Magnus Burgundy is anyways like because of the salary relationship. So let's just keep it there. But now having heard you and Dhimant talk about the travel one, my brain is like, अब ये live stream खत्म होते ही एक नहीं दो लेते हैं, एक वाइफ के अकाउंट पे लेते हैं, एक मेरे नाम पे लेते हैं, and let's get like the travel ones in the family. And I'm doing that purely from a Japan Airlines perspective because that's my sweet spot. You all know, and I think like the possibilities with the Japan Mileage Buying program are like infinite. The second one, like Deeman correctly said, I always need more and more of a core, and I think like this gives incredible value for a core. I also quite like the free cancellation feature. I think that's like an extremely important one, especially because for me, travel has increased multifold over the last couple of months, and I think it will continue to be with a priority. And with that, I think like the free cancellation makes it like a super powerful card. So those are my top two, the top three rather. One is Japan Airlines, two Accor, and three free cancellation. I think it just makes a lot of sense for us to get that card.
Adil, one more interesting thing, like we keep talking about this swiping thing, no? Like कि वो
Ah,
swipe किया और हमारा discount बढ़ गया. Like one more thing I'm liking this is KPI app, right? KPI app पे there is this button which says कि यार coins से discount आ गया. It feels so good when you click that button, right? I mean, it's suddenly your price decreases. Obviously, ratio is not that great, but
yeah.
like I am this big fan of getting these different features. By the way, one interesting thing which a lot of people have missed, right? You can even book visas with KPI coins. Like एक और revenue expense reduced, like which I'm definitely going to use on my next trip. पक्के से.
Cool. So with that, guys, I just thought we'll make a couple of housekeeping announcements before we close. So one is, if you'd like to go ahead and apply for the card for the HSBC Travel One, this is our affiliate link. Do take a look. It's in the YouTube description, but I'm also flashing it here on screen. It is tinyurl.com/HSBC Travel. If you enjoyed today's episode and if you enjoy our content and if you plan to get the travel card, do consider going through our affiliate link. That is announcement number one. Announcement number two is that, like we announced, Miles Ahead is coming to Mumbai on 13th of September. Big thank you for your love. Bangalore edition got sold out really quickly. Delhi edition is sold out and got sold out really quickly. In fact, we are traveling to Delhi on Sunday, this Sunday, in fact, on the 24th. And we'll be hosting Miles Ahead at Lavon. Let me tell you this, guys. For those of you who are in Delhi, that F&B experience during the Miles Ahead workshop is probably going to be our best F&B experience yet. Uh, we worked very hard with Chef Anosh, who's at uh, who's at Lavon Academy, Culinary Academy in Delhi, and he's prepared an elaborate menu for us. We're going to have three different breaks, and we're going to do a tasting menu of exquisite cuisine that they are baking at Lavon, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be an absolute bestseller. So, for all of you lucky ones who got into Delhi, big thank you. All you early birds for signing up, and Delhi is sold out. Big thanks, all of you. We are now accepting signups for Bombay, and Bombay is almost sold out. We have just 3 seats left. For those of you who'd like to join us on Bombay, it's happening on the 13th of September. Here's the link. I'm flashing it on screen. You can go ahead and apply on that link and come over. Finally, all of you, super grateful to all of you for giving us your incredible love for Fora. We shared with a few of you that we've gone ahead and we have become Fora advisors. And those of you who'd like to book with us can send us an email or reply to us on social, and we'll try and help you with those bookings. Super happy to announce we've already made a booking for a couple that traveled to Taj uh, Lake Palace in Udaipur, the Raffles in Udaipur, Fairmont in Udaipur. There's a couple who's spending their honeymoon in Bali at the Ritz Carlton. There is a couple who has just completed an amazing staycation at Sofitel Bombay. There is a couple who is all set to travel to Europe. And then there is one more couple, which I am not remembering. Dhiman, do you remember the one more couple that is going to, again, I think
Sofitel
Southeast
Bali.
Asia? Sofitel Bali. There you go.
Bali.
Sofitel Bali. That's the one. So, guys, big thanks for all your love. We made more than 10 bookings for all of you. Some of you already traveled and had a great time. Some of you are going to travel. So if you are one of those who would like to experience Fora, please write to us at thegreatindianmiles@gmail.com, and we will try and help you with your reservations. Now, with that, let's take a few more comments and we'll close it out. Sunil is saying, वाराणसी का प्रोग्राम बनाओ. सुनील बनाते हैं यार, पहले बैंगलोर दिल्ली बॉम्बे तो कर लें. यही फाइट है. Like, you won't believe it यार, guys. Dimant, me and Amey have been traveling week on week for the last like 6 to 8 weeks. It's been pretty intense for us, and we've got a lot more travel planned. But hopefully, किसी दिन आएंगे. In our communities, they say Inshallah is the word, so we'll definitely make it happen. Ani is saying that hoping for a great Kandan experience in Bombay as well. Absolutely. Dhimant is in charge for Bombay, and he's working on it. Just this evening, he was calling me and he was giving me updates on where he's planning to do. But if you all have tips on where we should do, and if you all have great locations where you can connect us with people who you think can up the game and do it like Labon, please do let us know, and we'll be happy to kind of see if we can potentially do it there. Yes, we'd love to do Hyderabad also on the plans. Let us wrap up Delhi and Bombay. We will come to Hyderabad soon. And with that, I think Delhi, which flight AI on Sunday? Guys, we're taking Dhiman is the 6:55 a.m. flight, right? That's the one we are on. So we're going to take the 6:55 a.m. flight. Let me check my flight here. I'll give you the flight number. Yeah, this is the AI 2808 that we're taking at 6:55, landing at 9:45, checking in quickly in AeroCity, and from there straight to Lavon. And we're looking forward to seeing you all in Delhi. So bottom line, guys, big thanks all 2380 of you, 2,380 people who joined in today. Bottom line today is HSBC has fired a shot across the bow with this new portal. The question is it big enough to dethrone the Infinia, or is it destined to be the best portal only play in India? That's the big question. I think time will tell. Huge thanks to Dhimant and Amey for joining me today, and to all of you for tuning in, dropping questions, and making this super interactive and making the Great Indian Points and Miles Show live streams such a fun hang. If you enjoyed all this, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share with that one friend who still books full price tickets. Until next time, keep earning, keep burning, and remember, the best trips are the ones you never pay for. See you soon.
Lights flashing bright, we're on the go. Tune in now, there's so much to know. Earning bits, travel dreams we sow, all aboard the Great Indian Points and Miles Show. 0 to hero in the blink of an eye. Fly first class, no need to be shy. Redemption sweet, touching the sky. Award seats booked, let's give it a try. Award seats booked, let the points flow. It's all aboard the Great Indian Points and Miles Show. Unlocking journeys wherever you go. The sky's the limit, feel the travel mojo.